Inside the Deck is brought to you by CoolStuffInc.com, sellers of Magic the Gathering and many other card and board games. GatheringMagic.com, your #1 resource on Magic the Gathering, strategy, and culture.
I'm Zac Hill. I'm a former designer and developer at Magic R&D. I've been a pro player for a long time, and now I'm the Chief Operating Officer of the Future Project, an education nonprofit. Today I'm playing at Grand Prix Atlantic City. So I was at Magic R&D a little bit over 3 years. I was a Pro Tour player for a really long time, and I wrote articles. I was one of the first people to do Magic video on Evan Irwin's Magic show. So I've kind of been a part of the community and part of the conversation for a pretty long time now. And while I was overseas working in Malaysia, I kind of, we had a year-long fellowship, and it's really a time in my life that I could say, like, what would I do if I just wanted to have, just enjoy myself? What would I do now that I could never do again? And so kind of on a whim, I sent them an email, went through my deck building accomplishments, and said, so do y'all have like an internship available? And then that's kind of the track. And like I said, I was there for a little over 3 years. Most people at Wizards do a lot of different things. I was no exception. I did design work and development work, so I came up not only with just like set concepts and themes, which is like what design does, is kind of say like, what is the play pattern, broadly speaking, going to look like? What's the world going to play like? Stuff like that. And then development is very much like gameplay design, so like making sure that the way the world plays out and the feeling of that is actually fun gameplay. What's cool is seeing how the engine you built to kind of create an experience actually pans out in reality. And what's cool about the standard environment, it's probably one of the most accurate that we've been able to predict in design. It's kind of like you're giving people a bunch of Legos, and then you get to watch what they build. And that's a really sweet experience. And as a player, I can't just take like the stuff we were doing a year and a half ago internally and translate that to the real world because it's such a different model. But I think it's cool figuring out sort of what's the same and what's different, and seeing with Gatecrash how it's going to change all over again. I mean, working at Wizards was amazing, but one of the downsides was always like, you weren't able to play competitively. And again, I want to be trying to build decks at the highest level and either succeeding or failing. I mean, not being able to do that is, it was always kind of a bummer. So the unleashing feels kind of good. I'm gonna be writing again. I'm gonna be doing a lot of the stuff that I kind of did, when I was in college 6-8 years ago now, that connected me to the Magic community. And I think one of the joys of competitive Magic is fun, and always pushing yourself to learn is really fun. And I think based off theories of flow and theories of interest curves and stuff, it just always feels good to be moving forward along an axis that you understand. And I think that's one of the really cool things about competitive Magic.